Previously on Lion Mums.
I can start any time, but I only have room for one more, and you have to fit my schedule.
Maybe you could take both Chae and Nabilah for one of those days?
Kai's gonna get into the program with or without my help.
What? Dad, is everything okay?
Yes, everything is fine.
What if I tried you out for a position at Kuartz?
Huh?
You know, a job.
Man, these numbers, they're still not... You went ahead and presented it and made me look like I stole your ideas.
But it was our idea. We help each other out, right, Winston? Maybe this is for the best. We both know you can't handle it.
Dear parents, it is my pleasure to announce Charleston's new Discipline Mistress. Your children will be familiar with her as a dedicated teacher for the past 4 years. She has some exciting plans to help promote values teaching in Charleston. I hope you can give her the support that she needs for the activities she has planned. Yours sincerely, Grace Chan.
That's so much better. As your new discipline mistress, I am brimming with ideas on how to bring the discipline level of Charleston up several notches. And class, you're going to be my guinea pigs. Oh, I mean, my model students. And we're going to have even greater fun.
I can't say goodbye to the feeling. I've hit the ceiling one more time. Keep aiming high, always reaching for the sky. Through the skies, day and night, reaching higher and higher. It feels like flying, don't it?
The journey was made treacherous by the carnivorous heat of the high afternoon sun, which has been attacking my exposed limbs. But when I got home, I found my grandpa perambulating across the room, looking for a book to peruse. Mother was fluttering about lyrically as she labored to ensure that the house was spick and span. All was well.
That is so good, Sarah.
You really think so, Mommy?
I know so. You have your wise words, you have your victorious vocabulary, your phenomenal phrases, everything you learned in the writing workshop. Miss Sim will not have anything to say about this one. And I think you're gonna get at least 18 out of 20.
You failed. I can't read your ugly chicken scrawl. Rewrite. What is this? Handwriting too small. How to read? Oh, Brandon. Thank you, Mom, for those lovely egg tarts from Hong Kong. Work on your story expansion. What is this? Are you trying to cheat me? I said 150 words and you're cheating it with big, humongous writing? Redo. Nabilah Reza, do you like lace?
Huh?
Your writing is like cheap lace. A lot of flowery language, no substance. What is this? You didn't even finish this. I expected better.
11 out of 20? Isn't this like the 4th time already?
How much do you think you should have gotten for this essay? No, it's a serious question. What grade do you think your teacher should have given you for this?
Well, I think Nubs should have scored higher for this one. I mean, she followed all the guidelines, she read all the books, attended all those workshops.
What grade her?
I'm sorry, what do you mean by that? Well, maybe she should have gotten a 16 or an 18. Maybe you can explain yourself, you know, instead of making all these strange noises.
Mrs. Durrani, those books that you get Nabilah to read, that isn't education.
What?
First things first, Nabilah. The sun is not an animal. It doesn't need to eat. And moths flutter, birds flutter, sometimes even dust. But your mom definitely does not.
Look, these are things she learns at the workshop, approved by the syllabus.
The point of writing is not to show off how many words she can spell. I would have failed this essay, yet alone give it an 11.
Excuse me?
If you want her writing to improve, then you need to stop all of these workshops and leave everything to me, including this room. Please. Okay. Why don't we examine some of these mistakes, huh, Nabs?
Look, you were the one who said I could hire whoever I wanted.
We are not a charity organization, and this is not a shelter for strays.
He's hardly a stray, and if you would drop the baggage, you would see how much of an asset he is.
Are you saying the fact that he's your buddy has nothing to do with the hire?
Oh, and you're so innocent? How did Cherry get this job? By virtue of merit, really?
Cherry applied for the job and she got in based on her qualification.
That doesn't explain how she's managed to keep it.
Is that an objective assessment, or is that just based on jealousy?
Jealous? Why would I be jealous of Cherry, or Kathy, or Lucy?
Why are you keeping track of the girls in my life?
I did not! Look, I was the one who said that I didn't want to be in a
Give
relationship.
you time to focus on your career for a year.
Has it been a year?
And then some.
I got some things inside my head. Heavier than
Were you waiting?
lead. I'm crying now.
Because I couldn't tell.
I got a pulse that's running fast with flashes of the past. I'm crying now.
In this situation, we cannot end the sentence with terrifying because the subject of the matter right here is the frogs.
Miss Sim, can you please wear the FM mic so I can hear you?
Hillary Lian, if I haven't already taken issues with you, don't go pushing your luck. Okay? Your hearing aid is of a very outlandish color. Why didn't you go with black or dark blue?
The student handbook.
The student handbook refers to all shoes, ear studs, headbands, and even spectacles. All shoes should be completely white and everything else in black or dark blue. So, why should hearing aids be any different? And why should I allow red just for you? Take them off.
But I can't hear well.
You just heard me perfectly fine. I'm giving you and your mom 3 days to get a black or a dark blue one.
But it's expensive.
I am the discipline mistress, and these are the rules. I am just enforcing them. Charleston is not a fashion show. Let's continue.
So this place belongs to your parents?
My mom. My dad has nothing to do with it. My dad was a mechanic at this workshop, but I ran away with the owner's money. Gambling. So my mom offered to work for free to cover his debts. When the owner passed away, he left this workshop for my mom because she was so good and responsible.
Wow. Your mom is really something.
Of course she's really something lah. If not, how she get a really something son like me, huh?
So you're the boss's son?
Actually, I'm the boss too. That's why I say, no need to study. Work so hard for what? One day, I'm gonna take over this place anyway.
Hey, Zhan Zhan,
Oi, Spencer 啦。
什么 pencil？ 从你穿尿布，我们就这里宅到现在啊，死劲啊！那么multimeter给我。
拿。
你给我 jump starter 做么？我要multimeter。哎呦！那你找小老板娘。
I thought you were the boss?
You can't even tell a multimeter from a jump starter. Wait till Ma finds out. And you're late for your work. I've got homework to do, so take over now.
Oi, but my friend is here. We are supposed to study together.
Hi, I'm Winston. Nice to meet you, 老板娘.
Your hands so smooth and clean, you won't want to shake mine. So you're the top student who's wasting your time on my brother.
Oi, stop it.
Stop what? Watch me cover your shift almost every day. Watch me cook for you while you waste your time with a bunch of useless friends. Give you 1 hour. After that, I've got to study for my Chinese test.
Nah. Yeah, come on, let's go.
This your older sister?
My younger sister lah.
Is there any problem?
Sayang, where's Claude?
He asked me to read this book while he take a break.
He what? Wow, I wonder what else you learned today.
I'm supposed to read 6 chapters today and pick out the phrases I like. Then he'll go through them later.
Okay. You know, Claude, I think reading is something Nabilah is smart enough to do on her own.
I know. That's why she's out there and I'm in here.
Maybe you could teach her something, instead of wasting our time.
Mrs. Durrani, Nabilah knows how to read, but she doesn't know what to do with what she reads. And that's where I come in. Now, the worst kind of education is where children are made to believe that good writing is all about having good memory.
I'm sorry, so are you trying to say that Nabilah, a student from Charleston, doesn't know what she's writing?
Precisely. Now, I would love to continue this discussion with you, Mrs. Durrani, but I have a lesson to teach.
Wow, Suresh, I know I just asked you to do these this morning, but the last guy would have taken like a week to finish it.
I tried my best.
Look, I'm sorry Zhong wasn't more...
Welcoming. Look, I know you were trying to help me, but I really feel I can contribute here. But if I don't, the last thing I want is to get you into trouble with Zhong. Just fire me.
Okay, I will. I'm sorry you've had to hit the ground running. We're looking to get listed, so things are going to get a little busier around here. We're also looking to acquire a startup, so we finally have the numbers to show for our reliability.
Oh, I think I can help you with that too.
You know, it's fine. Zhong and I can figure it out. You just focus on your stuff. Anyway, send me a soft copy of that. I gotta get back to work.
Minimize the chances of repeat offenders and raise the overall discipline in Charleston.
What happened to your CIP values component?
Well, I found it unfeasible. We have such short time to prepare. Essay 1 is just around the corner and parents are sure to complain.
I will deal with them. Cheryl, why I picked you as Discipline Mistress is because I thought you understood the meaning of discipline. To build social and emotional competencies by teaching values and providing opportunities for students to exercise good behavior. To lead by example. Many of Charleston students are privileged. It will be good for them to learn about compassion by helping the less fortunate. Do a trial run. Get the form teachers to nominate 5 academically strong students from each class. Let them know learning doesn't stop when they close their books.
Thank you, Miss Chan.
Cheryl, hand over the Valor Awards preparation to Royston so that you can focus on the Values Project.
Yes, Principal Chang.
All in all, it was a most satisfying June holiday. Jessie never knew that helping people could be so much fun and infinitely more meaningful than even going away.
So, what do you think? Compared with your previous essay, which did you enjoy reading more and why?
This one's easier to read, as I really understand what the narrator's thinking.
Exactly. See? You've got it.
But there's no similes, no metaphors.
So, if you used really big words, you'd be able to enjoy reading it in the same way? Look, tell you what, let's just submit this to your teacher and see what she thinks.
Mr. Quack, can I switch the CIP values project with you? I will handle the Valor Awards.
Sorry. Miss Chan specifically asked you to handle it yourself.
Royston, I really need your help and guidance. I mean, this was your idea after all.
Oh. You didn't think that it was my idea when you pitched it to Miss Chang?
No,
As a matter of fact, you implied that I stole it from you.
No, I tried to explain everything to Principal Chang, but she assumed...
Sorry, no can help. Here, these are the names of the students from my class that I nominate. All right? Now, I gotta finish my tea before my next class.
I think this is yours. I'm just printing a lot of stuff as well.
You just have to wait. Has anyone taught you how to use our printers?
No, but I'm sure...
We don't operate on single-sided printouts.
Oh. Sorry.
I know you're new. Just don't use the printer your own way.
Mr. Chang, why don't you give me a chance to prove to you that I'm of value to the company?
What has Minnie been telling you?
I know she hired me without your approval.
She can hire anybody she wants.
But just not me.
As long as she hires without bias or favoritism.
I see. She was helping me, but I wouldn't have taken up the job if I think I couldn't contribute. Just so you know, I was in a much higher position in my previous company if I went bust.
So the company went bust. Fine. Let's hear what you have.
I know you're looking for a company with a good cash flow to boost your revenue for IPO.
And?
How about a company that uses AI to add value to content? Robo-AI. It has great growth potential and a healthy cash flow.
Robo-AI. That's the company that just secured a contract with Samsung.
Exactly. I know the founder quite well. I mentored him in his first job. But you have to hurry. I know for a fact that Fosentech is interested as well.
Suresh, I think it's time for our long overdue employer-employee meeting.
How dare she?
She said it was in the student's handbook. No fanciful or colourful accessories.
Hearing aids are not accessories. Does she even know how expensive it is?
I tried to tell her, but she wouldn't listen.
She's even more unbearable now that she's DM. The principal must be mad to make her the discipline mistress.
Mummy, what should we do?
He chucked your books? It sounds just like Claude. Unapologetic, arrogant.
You laugh. How well do you know him, Min? Could he be like a scammer?
can't say I know him that well. It's been more than 10 years. But he was unorthodox, always challenging the teachers. I mean, the fact that he dropped out of Harvard to become a tutor shows you how unconventional he is. Look, no matter how good he is, you must be comfortable. If you don't think he's helping Nabilah, or if you think he's pulling a fast one, then just tell him to leave. I mean, don't keep him on my account. I have no obligations to him.
Well, it's only been 2 lessons. I think I should give it more time.
You could try him out for a month. There's still time to switch Nabilah out if you don't think he's suitable.
Yeah, it's great that he's a one-stop service, you know? It saves me from ferrying Nabilah around.
Tech wanted to appoint their own CEO for their share in robo-AI. That's why I hesitated. I want full control of my vision, that's all. But it was good money. I could do so much with it.
Kuartz is not as established as Tech, but it's fast rising. You probably can negotiate a better deal with them than Tech. Let me know your concerns.
Can they be trusted though? I mean, I've heard Zhong Meng has a reputation for being a cowboy.
I know the newly appointed COO, Meng. She's a good friend, and I trust her.
I see.
Look, I'm not asking you to say a yes now. Just have a meeting with them and see how you feel after that.
Marantangavalu, Chae Lian, Ho Kai, Elliot Yong, and Amos Meng. You have been selected for a special trial in the new values project. I have the consent forms with me. Please get your parents to sign them and return it back to me.
What's this about, Miss Sim?
The details are in the form. Meanwhile, a word of advice. Go home and start doing some housework. And don't have your helpers, mothers, or grandmothers clean up after you.
The Korean contract puts them in a very good financial position, but they're just service providers. Zachary actually has bigger dreams to be a developer too. So he needs cash flow.
Which we can provide when our investors come in.
But if we want robo-AI, we need to gain Zachary's trust first.
And he trusts you because you mentored him when he was young. So all we need to do now is for you to talk to him.
Already did. I can take this to the next step, but Zachary wants certain terms which I feel are not unreasonable. Are we prepared to give in?
Okay? Let's talk about the terms in detail tomorrow. Good job, Suresh.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, but Miss Chang is busy.
I'll wait.
Miss Chang, Mrs. Lian is here to see you.
That was impressive, Suresh.
Thank you.
Hey, have a seat.
Sure.
And since when did you become friends with Zhong Meng?
Didn't you know I was a voodoo wizard? I voodooed him into liking me.
Well, you certainly voodooed him with robo-AI.
Was there something you wanted?
Yeah. Suresh, why didn't you tell me about robo-AI first?
I tried to, but you didn't want to hear about it.
Oh, God, I'm sorry. I just thought
It's all fine. That's not even the point. I'm so grateful that you took me in. I just want to prove to Zhong Meng that you didn't hire wrongly.
I know I didn't.
That's really unfortunate, but if it happened as you said, could Hillary have misunderstood?
Miss Chang, I'm mindful that children lie, but Hillary is a very sensible and kind girl. she will not repeat something so serious if it didn't happen.
I've taught Hillary in class before, and she's a good girl. Perhaps Miss Sim is just being overzealous. I will have a word with her. But please don't worry about the hearing aids.
Thank you, Miss Chang. I appreciate you seeing me. I thought...
You thought I wouldn't hear you out?
Just that you're not as feasible as Mrs. Cole, and parents may get the wrong impression. Well, after having met you, I believe you are not what they think.
And what do they think? Forget it. It's not important. Kindly let Hillary know that she can continue wearing her hearing aid.
Thank you.
Was there something else, Mrs. Lian?
I don't want to bring up the past, but there were other incidents between Miss Sim and the children. I don't want to go into the details, but I just want you to know that making Miss Sim the discipline mistress may not be the wisest decision.
So you're questioning my decision?
I'm sorry, I've overstepped my boundaries and I shouldn't have. Thank you for helping Hillary. I'm sure you're busy. I better not keep you.
Mrs. Lian. After observing the school for several months now, I'm ready to engage the parents. Could I invite you to be on my first parents' roundtable?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Miss Su will be in touch with the date and time.
Okay.
Good morning, Miss Sim.
Miss Su, is Principal Chang in?
Yeah. Shall I ring you in?
But isn't she in another meeting?
With Mrs. Lian? Oh, she left already.
I must have just missed her then.
Yeah, she was complaining about some teacher who wouldn't help her daughter with some hearing aids or something. Oh, I'm supposed to invite Mrs. Lian for the parents' roundtable on Saturday. You're involved in that, right?
Yeah, that's right. Anyways, I will meet Principal Chang another day. I have to go visit some poor people's homes for the values project.
You teachers are really so poor thing. You're so busy and you still have to handle all these things.
Well, anything for the kids.
Cheryl, just the person I want to see. Come on in.
Okay.
Sir, what are you looking for?
It's all right. Okay, we're gonna cook dinner for your mom tonight.
Mommy wanted Dina to make belacan with the prawns.
Oh, I think she'll be fine when she sees what we prepared for her. Dina, you can take a break. We'll cook dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So, now without their shells, prawns have very soft bodies, okay? Now these are called invertebrates. But a fish has bones, a skeletal structure. Feel?
Ew, it smells fishy.
Yeah, it does. But not once you cook it, right? Once you cook it, it smells awesome. So you have to think of the GEP as like a really great chef.
Huh?
Okay, now the training takes someone with potential and turns them into a high achiever. That's what I want to do. It's what I want to do with you. It's what I want to do with all of my students. Okay, now let's get back to this. Now, these are the scales. Now give them a feel, okay? So, now, soft to the touch, from right to left, but prickly from left to right.
Wow.
It's just nature, Nabilah. You need to understand what kind of information to take in and what kind of information to keep out. You have to learn how to learn.
Hello? This is she. Oh, Mrs. Wang. Yes, of course. I'll see you there.
It's not the activity per se, though I question the issue of hygiene. It's just the timing. It's so close to SA1. The children need time to study.
Yes, I said the exact same thing to Principal Chiang, and I've also tried reasoning with her, but she just wouldn't listen.
How on earth did she become a principal? She doesn't listen to the parents, and now she doesn't listen to the teachers too?
Maybe you could bring this up at the Parents' Roundtable meeting this Saturday?
What Parents' Roundtable?
The Parents... I am so sorry. I didn't know she didn't invite you. Well, you're usually so good with suggestions, so I thought you would be the first she approached.
She's holding a Parents' Roundtable and didn't think to invite the president of PTA?
Please, I'm so sorry. I really didn't know. I don't want to get into trouble, so please don't tell her. As it is, she already dislikes me for opposing her on her various schemes.
Don't worry, Miss Sim. I have my sources. Even if I didn't hear from you, I would have found out one way or the other.
Mrs. Wang, the Wang family has contributed so much to the school. So please, just let me know if there is anything I can do to help.
Sure, I will.
Dina, why are you cooking so early? What is this?
Mummy, Mr. Claude is cooking our dinner.
Claude, are you a GEP tutor or are you a chef?
I'm a tutor, at your service.
Mummy, I was cleaning the fish, filling the scales, and shelling the prawns.
What on earth? Are you teaching us science or something?
This isn't science, this is life.
Mummy, you don't understand. Mr. Claude was just trying to make his lesson fun and I really enjoy it.
Fun.
Learning has to be fun for the student to retain the lesson, Mrs. Durrani.
Claude, there is a line between fun and too much fun.
Cooking is a life skill, and so is knowing your food and where it comes from.
Look, SA1 is just a few weeks away, and GEP test 4 months away. I do not have time for life skills.
That's the way that I teach. If you don't like it...
I certainly do not like it.
Mummy, you don't understand. Mr. Claude is just...
I told Min I'll give you 1 month, but this is just too much for me to take.
Well, if you have that little trust in me, then I don't see the point of being here.
Mummy!
It's okay, Nabilah. Look, I am trying to teach her the virtue of curiosity. Without it, she can forget any hope of getting into the GEP program.
Are you threatening me, Claude? You know what? I want you out of my house right now.
Mummy! Mummy!
Keep quiet and you clean up this mess.
Thank you for coming to the first Parents' Roundtable. I'm starting these regular sessions to gather feedback from different segments of the school on various issues, and also to share my views with you. I believe in a holistic education. I know you've heard this phrase thrown around a lot, but education is more than just books and studies. It's character building, sharing and imparting values, socializing as well as teamwork. As you know, Miss Sim has started the Pilot Values Project. Would you like to share more about it, Miss Sim?
Yeah, sure. The Values Project is a positive aspect of discipline. It provides opportunities for students to exercise behavior via community work in a hands-on way. For a start, the pilot group of students will be helping the needy elderly clean up their homes.
Thank you, Miss Sim. Any thoughts, parents?
Yes. We could organize charity drives.
I can sell food at the carnival like I always have. I've got hundreds of chefs at my disposal.
Mrs. Lian, what do you think?
I think these are all very good ideas. But charity drives do not involve the kids in a way that allows them to interact with the less privileged in society.
I agree.
Mrs. Wang, you can't just barge in like that.
What is this all about? Why wasn't I invited to attend such an important meeting?
Mrs. Wang, you can't just barge in like that.
What is this all about? Why wasn't I invited to attend such an important meeting?
I'm sorry, Miss Chang. I tried to stop her.
It's okay. Hello, Mrs. Wang. Please, have a seat.
I had hoped it was due to merely some oversight that I wasn't invited to attend this roundtable.
No. No oversight at all. The school has scheduled meetings with the PTA Exco, and I wanted to hear from the non-Excos themselves.
Oh, I see.
But the more the merrier. The parents and I were just discussing about Miss Sim's values project.
Good. Precisely what I want to find out. Why schedule at this time of the year? So close to SE1.
Well, if I were to schedule it next term, it will clash with the GEP test. And any later, it will clash with SE2, which carries even greater weightage. But then again, there's no better time to teach our kids values. I know you have been very generous with your donations to Charleston, Mrs. Wang. And there's a lot to learn about philanthropy through the Wangs.
We do what we can, for the sake of the children.
Mrs. Wang, with your illustrious background, I was hoping that you could take the lead in the Values Project to show them the true meaning of philanthropy in action beyond donations. I remember your late grandmother-in-law, Mrs. Wang Swat Leng. She cooked for and personally fed the poor with no family after the war. Can I count on you to impart that same kind and generous spirit to Charleston kids and parents?
Of course.
Perfect. Miss Sim, please proceed with the Values Project. If there's nothing else, thank you, everyone.
And there you have it.
I understand why Suresh trusts you so much now, Minnie. You're very persuasive.
Hey, she's one half of the brains of Kuartz after all.
I really appreciate you taking the time to hear our plans.
And they are very impressive plans. My only concern is the degree to which my team retains autonomy over the creative direction of our company.
That's usually the case with mergers and acquisitions. You may be owned by Kuartz, but we normally do not exercise any control over the day-to-day work, and your operations can proceed as per normal.
That's great, but I want a guarantee to see in the contract.
Does that mean a yes-ish?
Yes, but a yes pending the contract and the creative control clause that you will add into the contract.
I'll prepare an MOU stating the key terms and conditions of both parties before we proceed to contract, which may take a while.
Brilliant. I'm looking forward to it.
You speak of devotion, like you're a train wreck in slow motion. Still trying, babe. Still trying, babe. Still trying.
Nabilah, what is this? So dirty. Eee, it's very smelly also.
Chae, at least Min has someone to scapegoat. Who do we have?
At least our kids have eyes. You know what? This is actually quite therapeutic.
Elliot, where's your mom?
Not bad, Mr. Quack. Moving faster than the other classes. Right,
Yes.
Miss Sim?
That's right.
Here, you missed the spot.
I'll help you.
Thank you, Mr. Quack.
Amos, where's your mother?
Oh, she says she has a very important last-minute meeting with a foreign dignitary. She sent my yaya instead.
Well, then you just have to do your mother's share of the work. Miss Sim, call a cab to send Yaya home.
Yes, Principal Chang.
Yaya?
But why does Elliot get to come without his mother?
Well, that's because Elliot's mother isn't feeling well. Yours is healthy.
It's okay, Miss Jiang. I will help him. Come.
Come on, everyone. We still have a lot to do. Lian, shall I help you out?
I heard it's good news.
Zachary's on board. All thanks to Suresh bringing in Robo AI.
Hey, no, most of the effort was actually yours.
Right, enough with the false modesty. We need to move fast. When can we start with the contracts?
As soon as we confirm a lawyer to draft them. I've already sent over the MOU.
Good.
Suresh? I'm going to confirm your employment with us right now.
What?
What?
You'll be on the confirmation pay scale with immediate effect. Right, Zhong?
Right.
Dinner tonight? You're paying.
Hey,
I need to work tonight.
I prefer to celebrate. You can stay. Suresh and I will celebrate on your behalf.
To share what the world brings in so many ways, you'll be there. Hey, come back!
Thank you for having me.
Miss Shang, thank you very much for this meaningful activity.
I can see that the kids learned a lot today.
We couldn't have done it without your support. And also, thanks to Miss Sim for pulling this off.
Mommy, look! I topped the class for compo.
You did?
I did, look!
Wow. But it's so plain. There's no victorious vocabulary, no phenomenal phrases.
Claude said you don't need to use big swords to fight. Small ones can step just fine too.
I need to call Claude.
What do you want?
Hi. The essay you taught Nabilah to write the other day, she's got the highest in class and she got to read it in front of her entire class.
So?
So, you were right and I was wrong. Please, Claude, have a seat. Look, I'm so sorry. Okay, I judged your methods too quickly. But it's because I've been scammed before.
You thought I was scamming you?
No. Yes, I did. But now I know better. Please, Claude, please come back. Nabilah really loves your teaching and she misses you.
Your daughter's a delightful girl to teach. And she's full of curiosity and energy.
Yes, and she will wilt without a teacher like you to nurture her. Please, Claude, please, can you please come back?
On one condition. I get to do it my way.
Yes, I wouldn't want it any other way. You do it your way.
Okay, start tomorrow.
We'll start tomorrow. Thank you. Oh my God, thank you. Thank you. Sorry. See? See you tomorrow.
All right, sure.
Cheryl, Miss Chang wants to see you before you leave.
Come in.
You wanted to see me, Principal Chang?
Have a seat.
Well done on the values project.
Oh, thank you.
You've shown that you can be more than capable. But it has come to my attention that there are severe objections to your appointment.
May I know who objected and why?
If it was from one source, I wouldn't have bothered to ask you in. It was from several sources, as well as my own observations. The Hillary incident was a case in point.
Well, I think it's very unfair to strip me of my DM role. And given that I don't even know who my accusers are...
No one is stripping you off your role as a DM. I want you to take what's left of the year to reflect on your appointment in light of what I shared with you about discipline. I will do a review with you at the end of the year. I hope that sounds fair to you.
Yes, of course, Principal Chiang. Thank you.
I've been blowing kisses since the day began. Quietly across the room to you they swam. You had no idea of my little wing charms, floating round your head until the sun went down. I've been blowing kisses since the day began. I've been blowing kisses like a fool. I've been pulling petals off the flowers for days, sent 100 daisies to their graves. But no matter how hard I pray, he loves me not is what nature says. I've been blowing kisses since the day began. I've been blowing kisses like a fool.